You are watching Park TV.
Welcome to Monadnock tonight with your host, Steve Jackson, coming to you live from the studios of the Park Theater in downtown Jaffrey, New Hampshire. Join Steve and his guest today, Chair of the Performing Arts Department of Middlesex Community College, singer, actor, and director extraordinaire, Karen OSTER. Now kindly sit back, relax, and here's Steve.
Well. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Park TV and the Park Theater's Monadnock Tonight program. It is Thursday, September 17th, 2020. It's about 5 p.m. here on the East Coast, and this is show number 48. And yes, I am Steve Jackson. I'm the CEO of the Park Theater and your host, and we are all so glad that you could join us. We're going to have a very interesting show today with an emphasis on theater and the issues that theater companies, whether they're professional, community, or in this case, college, are dealing with the issues of COVID. But this is one story where they're breaking through the barrier of bringing actors back to the stage with creative and safe innovation. We also have a Go Monadnock Best Bets segment with our producer, Kim Graham. So all of this should be very interesting. So please stay tuned, my friends. Some news going on, a couple of notes before we get into our interview. Route 124, our new program, will premiere a brand new show tomorrow, Friday, September 8th at noon. And it will be with the singer-songwriter Patrick LaCroix. And the tape show will debut simultaneously on our Facebook page, as well as our YouTube channel at parkyoutube.com tomorrow, Friday, September 18th at 12 noon. So you can catch it either place. And of course, that's when it debuts, but it is archived for on-demand viewing anytime after that. So we hope you will take a look at our next episode of Route 124. Also, we always like to mention, especially because they're so popular, our curated free films that we find for you. And a lot of people have been telling me, they're great films. And I have to tell you, before I get into our new film, if you saw the film we debuted last week, if you did, I'm just asking the audience, did you watch Blackthorn last week on Park Pixflix? If not, watch it. It is truly a great film. It's one of those from 2011 that kind of slipped under the cracks. It's a must-see film. It is beautiful, poetic, and a stunning performance by Sam Shepard as Butch Cassidy. And it really gives you a kind of what happened to Butch Cassidy based upon this author's take on this. But Blackthorn is still up on Park Pixflix, so you can still watch that for free. But what I was starting to say when I was talking about our free films is that some people say you show a lot of great free films, but we need more comedies. Find some great new old comedies. And so, yes, we have got one. And if I say the name Jerry Lewis, do I need to really say much more than that? This one is from 1958, and it's about girl and baby trouble. And I'm going to show you not the whole trailer, because as I said last week, the trailers from the 60s and 50s went on and on and on. But we're going to give you maybe half of the trailer, a minute's worth of it. And this one, I think there are some good laughs in this. So take a look, and here's Jerry.
You go to sleep, rock-a-bye, my baby, where the cherub's rod.
Rock-a-bye, baby. That's the understatement of the year, because our boy Jerry has just become a mother. Not of one, not of two babies. What he's got is...
triplets.
And here are just a few moments from Jerry's hilarious adventures in Babyland.
Okay, go ahead.
Now all you have to do is just pat her back. Easy. Very easy.
That's easy, the way I'm doing it. Something's wrong with this one. It ain't working. Oh.
And he's got troubles with grown-ups, too. The movie star.
Oh, Clayton, I'm so glad to see you.
Oh, so am I. I mean, so are we.
The teenager.
Oh.
I'm getting to you. Your thermometer's riding, Clayton.
So that film has been posted. That is up and running at, you can go to theparktheater.org and free films hit that button in the top right, and you got all of the dozens of free films that we've curated for you. This one, a little different than last week's film, to say the least, but for those looking for some laughs and some classic comedy, I think Jerry will deliver for you. Now, let's introduce our guest for today. Karen Oster has a BFA from the Boston Conservatory in Musical Theater and Directing, and a master's in education from Cambridge College. She has taught music at the Buckingham, Brown, and Nichols Middle School in Cambridge, Mass., and has facilitated, directed, and coordinated performances and involvement of young cast members in numerous productions, including the Broadway National Tour of Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, Paul Simon's The Cape Man on Broadway with Mark Anthony. Karen is also a professional musician and actress as well, having performed throughout the country in various productions, including Nonsense with Alice Ghostly and Lainey Kazan. And I challenge the younger audience to know who those two names are, but for those of our age, I think we all know. And if you ever watch Bewitched, you know who Alice Ghostly is. Maybe that's the connection I can give you. Swing Time Canteen with Terry Ralston and Pump Boys and Dinettes. Karen is currently working with the Rogers and Hammerstein organization, writing children's adaptations of their musicals. What a wonderful idea. It's entitled the Getting to Know You series, and her adaptation of The King and I is currently licensed for performance throughout the country. And she is the chair of the Performing Arts Department of Middlesex Community College in Lowell, Massachusetts. And we are going to bring in live Karen Oster, and let's 1, 2, and 3. Hello, Karen.
Hello. How is everyone?
Oh, we're better now. And look, and I think everyone is going to, and we're going to be asking questions, but look where Karen is. I mean, there's nothing better to have an actual stage in the background of someone we're interviewing, and appreciate that you were able to set this up, because Karen has, we'll get into what's going on behind her as we talk about this innovative production that debuts shortly, and that anyone, let alone in the region right around the college, you know, it's virtual. So anyone in the Monadnock region is going to be able to watch this production. It should be a lot of fun. So Karen, so we're so glad, and there's so much we have to talk to you about, but I think I gave them little tidbits of your background, but I'm sure everyone would love to get to know you a little bit better and tell us more about yourself, where you're originally from, and what is it about theater and performance and music that got you hooked on it. And I'll swing it over to you right now. Tell us more about Karen.
Awesome. Well, hey, everybody. Thank you for having me, Steve. I'm really excited to be here. This is especially thrilling in the middle of theater seats. Yay. So I was born and raised in Ohio, Cleveland, Ohio, and went to school there, went to high school there, and then went to college at Boston Conservatory. And of course, I was like every young person, and I was bit by the bug when I was about 6 years old. My My family was very much into the theater. My dad was an actor, but he was a dentist, but he was an actor. My mom was a set designer. My brother was very involved in the theater as well. And so it was always a part of my life from as long as I can remember. And then as I started to go through high school, I did a lot of productions and various things like that. And then when I got into college, I realized that how much I loved teaching. And so I was doing that as kind of a side job, working with young people and teaching private voice lessons and coaching my fellow colleagues in college with their auditions and things. And then I moved to New York after I graduated, like everyone does. And right around 2001, September 11th, we had a horrific thing happen to this country, and I was in New York when it happened. And I realized at that point I had been doing a lot of touring, I had been doing a lot of performing, I'd been doing a lot of different things. And I realized at that point I had to kind of come back and take a look at what was really the most meaningful thing to me in my life. And as I'm sure a lot of people were at that point, and that was to be with my family and to teach. So I came back from New York, and I started teaching, and then got this great job at Middlesex Community College, where I've been for about 17 years now, 16, 17 years now.
Wow.
And I tell everyone that it's the best job in the world because I get to work with great people. I have a fantastic administration that supports me in everything I do, and even in the crazy ideas that I have, and students who just inspire me every day. That's
Karen,
a little bit about me.
Oh, sorry, Karen.
That's okay.
There we go. Can you tell us, I think some folks may know in our region, certainly, but I'd love if you could give us a little bit more of a thumbnail sketch about Middlesex Community College itself, and specifically about the performing arts programs
Absolutely.
there.
Absolutely. So Middlesex, I mean, ironically, Middlesex is in its going into its, and here we are, in the pandemic, and we were just getting ready to celebrate our 50th anniversary. And so it's happening in this pandemic, but anybody who's an alumni can certainly get in touch with the alumni organization because they are planning a big shindig. And this is on September 24th. So that's right before our show goes up. So you have like a twofer that whole week. But Middlesex has been kind of a leading college in online offerings for about 20 years. So we're actually not young at this. We've actually been doing this for a long time, and now we've kind of got this situation we're in, and now it's opened. 95% of its programs are now online. We do have various things that are going to be happening in person. This varies, maybe some classes, some labs, some things like that. But being a community college, it's a very diverse population. We offer classes from young ones all the way to seniors. And the great thing about Middlesex also is that we are in the heart of Lowell. So we are in this great cultural mecca. We are right near Merrimack Repertory Theater. Give a shout out to them. They're awesome. We partner with them. They have buildings that are kind of stretched out all around Lowell, which is considered a historic national park. So when you come to Middlesex, you're kind of a part of this great history as well. And so right now is a really great time. And I sound like a commercial for Middlesex, but I'm going to just go for it because they're amazing. And I work here, and I'm so proud to be working here. And, when people are thinking about going to school right now in the middle of this pandemic, come here. Like, take some classes here. It's cheaper. And our online is so robust. Our programs are so robust, and you'll get so much out of it. And so I think that when we're trying to save money or figure out, there's a lot of students who are struggling right now because they got accepted to different places. You can get a lot of your credits here at Middlesex, and that can transfer over. So that's my spiel for Middlesex Community
Good
College.
one. Good
Yeah.
one.
So in terms of the program itself, we're a fairly young program. And when I started here, so I mean, 16 years doesn't seem very young, but it actually is when building a new program. And so one of the things for me that was super important was that everything be student centered, that everything we do revolve around the students, and that we give them a high quality experience. And so we started out, I started out when I became chair, we started out by doing a couple of productions and things like that. And then we've started to build a much more robust program. So now we offer classes, we actually have a performing arts theater option. So we offer, that's transferable. We offer classes in acting and scene study and directing and musical theater and history of theater and all those things that are transferable. But we also have two really fantastic certificates that we just started. One is a theater, technical theater certificate and an arts administration certificate. And one of the really cool things about that is that we're in this fantastic, brand new academic arts building.
Yeah.
This academic arts building, it's been 10 years in the making. It just opened up 2 years ago. And we have all of these state-of-the-art equipment, all of these things going on, and then the pandemic hit. So in my mind, I was thinking, how can we use this space and be able to get through a pandemic and have our students be able to use the various technology and everything that's here and learn from it and still stay safe. So
Now,
that's a little bit about our program.
Again, I'm sorry.
No worries. Yeah.
There. What I'd love to know is, I think everyone who's a fan of our theater sees your new theater. Mm-hmm. Tell us a little bit about the space that you're in right now, because you told me it's about 2 years old.
Yeah. So just a little bit more about that. The space we're in right now is at kind of the gateway of Lowell. It is actually the old Rialto building, for those of you who know Lowell, and it then was the Boston and Maine. The school purchased it as a historic building for, I think, $2. And so it has been preserved as an historic building. And actually the facade in the front of the building was preserved and everything else was gutted. So it almost looked like a movie set. And from the very beginning, for 10 years, I have been working with the team, putting together this space and what I felt was important to have as a lab space for our students to be able to get the state-of-the-art experience for technical theater as well as all forms of theater. So this is a building that, not a huge footprint, but we do have a 150 or so 60-seat theater. We also have our first row, which can be converted so that we can turn it into a 3/4, a thrust, whatever we want, we can do. We've got all state-of-the-art equipment, including 8 fantastic moving lights, and everything is state-of-the-art sound and lighting equipment and everything. And we have upstairs, we have a recital hall, which seats about 90. So our music department is able to have, they do have in our Bedford campus, they do have a recital hall there, but they're able to do things here in this recital hall. And we also have a dance studio, which is the same footprint as our stage, so that we can actually rehearse when we're able to. We're actually able to rehearse big musical numbers and have it be the exact same footprint as our stage here. And we also have downstairs, we have 2 fantastic dressing rooms, which we never had before. Wow. And with all the bells and whistles, and office space and rehearsal space, as well as some practice rooms. The neat thing about our dance studio as well is one of the things I wanted it to possibly be in the future was a possible lab space. So maybe if students wanted to do a reading, or they wanted to direct a small play, or they wanted to write something, they could try things out upstairs. And so it's equipped to be able to use lighting and sound up there as well. So it's a pretty cool space right at the gateway of Lowell.
Yeah. Well, just from this one view that we're getting in the background, and you're going to explain what we're looking at there, but you've got the ability to do something like that. And as we start to talk about when COVID hit in the spring,
Mhm.
I'm sure that you had plans for spring production or productions, and as everyone had plans. And what happened, and then where did you go from there?
Um, we were actually um, we were actually about a month away from producing our production of Man of La Mancha, which
Mm,
is a show I had been wanting to do for such a long time. And when I had heard that other colleges were starting to close down, I went to my actors and I said, "This is a thing. This is going to be a thing." And we're very close. I believe strongly in collaboration and that we are transparent and make sure that our students know exactly what's going on. And so I said, we're going to have to start rethinking this. And so then we went into the virtual world in Zoom, and I said, let's have a little time to meet once a week. We'll call it our Man of La Mancha family meeting once a week. And so we had we still do our Man of La Mancha family meeting. And we wanted to do something. We just felt like we needed to do something creative. And so we created this really cool video where everybody was kind of giving their snapshot of what they were doing at home while they were rehearsing. And it's pretty funny. I took a stab at doing editing of a recording of 20 some people singing to dream the impossible dream.
mm,
And it was really fun for us to work on something. And but it became really my mission. I think that I think in the midst of all of this, it's very easy to just sit back and let theater kind of go underground, because we thrive on being live. We thrive on being together. This is what we want, and this is what we will have again. But for right now, it felt so important to me to not have us just sit back. We needed to constantly be in the front, having everybody see us. And for me personally, as a teacher, keeping my students engaged and keeping them creating. And so that's what we did. I offered a self-tape workshop with a friend of mine from New York who led it. I looked to a lot of my friends and colleagues and said, "Hey, can we try this? Can we do this? Offer this for my students?" And just keeping things going was so important. And I feel like, although Zoom fatigue is a real thing, I feel like we kind of got to a point where we felt comfortable enough with each other that we wanted to see each other and we wanted to touch base. And now that we were moving into what we kind of know now, and we have more information, we found new ways to make it happen.
yeah. And you've taken what's going on behind you
Mhm.
is a play that was written about 9 or 10 years ago called She Kills Monsters, and hopefully I'll pronounce the name right. Ki Nguyen, is that how
Qui
you pronounce it?
Nguyen. Qui.
Pardon?
Qui
Qui
Nguyen.
Qui Nguyen.
Yeah,
And Qui was ahead of the game because
absolutely.
he updated his play with a version designed to be staged virtually.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so it's an interesting story about and I'll let you tell it, about what the base story is about a woman who loses her parents and little sister. But I'll let you tell us a little bit more about what the play was and how it's been adapted.
Sure. So, She Kills Monsters in its original form and how it was originally written, and it has been adapted a bit just to be able to contend with a virtual world. But basically, Agnes is the heroine of the story, and she has an annoying little sister who's really into Dungeons and Dragons. And she says one day, "Oh, I just wish I didn't have such an annoying little sister." And lightning cracks, and her family is killed in a car accident. So she is extremely, uh, uh, thinks that this is all her doing or whatever it might be. However, the main thing for her was to get to know who her little sister really was, because she was so annoyed with her all the time, didn't want anything to do with her. I mean, she was into boys and being a cheerleader and all that stuff. And she really, she wasn't into that whole D&D thing. So the story then kind of picks up from there. And Agnes goes to her DM, her Tilly, her sister's dungeon master, and says, I found this notebook. And what is it? And he says, hey, your sister was a major Dungeons and Dragons master. So Agnes wants to know more about it. And so her dungeon master pulls her into the world of Dungeons and Dragons and finds out who Tilly's friends were, and who the monsters really are. Maybe I can leave it like that.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good taste. That's a good taste. One thing that I'm going to show, and you can tell us then how this your whole production is going to work. But I'm going to first just show the because it's coming up, and I want to remind people of when it's going to be available. So you'll see it scrolling across the bottom. September 25th to the 27th, each evening at 7 p.m. And so mark that on calendars, and we will tell you how to get to it via a website in a moment. But let's see if we can get there is the poster, but you can keep talking over that, Karen.
And I do want to make a special mention there to one of my students who did this poster. And she is a graphic arts. She was a art major, and she's transferred to technical theater here at the college. And she created this poster, which is just amazing.
Lovely.
So She Kills Monsters, that Queen Yulian back in March, she was one of the first people to say, I should make this available. And so it was intended for Zoom, because that's where everybody was going, on Zoom. And so he really made the actual play. He had to make some adaptations for the physicality of it. And he made the play to be done in a Zoom atmosphere, so in a chat. And so my technical supervisor, Peter Waldron, as well as my incredible sound and media designer over there who's working, Shane Bergios, he is at our station there. We all kind of came together, and we said, well, Zoom is great, but we've got this big space. So what can we do to make this socially distanced? How can we get kids back in here, and how can we be safe about it? And that was extremely important to me. I mean, I am diehard mask wearer. I have it right here. I'm not wearing it right now because I'm far away from anyone, but I'm also talking to you. Yep. And very important to me that this be completely safe before we did anything. So we had a lot of discussions about it, and different ideas went floating around. One of them is that we'd separate them with tape, 6 feet apart. Or one of the things was even, well, one of them can go upstairs and the other one go here and the other one go here, and we'll all be on Zoom. And then we thought, oh gosh, what about the wonky Wi-Fi? And
right.
And not everyone can can get on to Zoom and it be okay. So we decided that let's do this virtually. This is about monsters. This is about special effects. Let's make some green screens. This is the perfect opportunity.
Yeah. Yep.
So we developed what you see behind me. You see 8 cubicles. So they each have, I don't know if you can see the dimension of it, but there's a wall and then there's a return wall. Mm-hmm. So it's completely green screen. And you also see that there's a little bench there that's green as well. Every one of the cubicles has their own web camera, has their own microphone. We even have 2 seats on the side that are 6 feet apart, so for people that play multiple roles, so they can kind of phase in and out. So what we do is when the cast member, when we first started rehearsals, cast member would come in, and we have a contact tracing app up front. They would check in, have their mask on, and we had them coming in 15 minutes apart. First person would come in with their mask on, immediately go right to their cubicle. I'd say, go to your room, immediately go to their cubicle. And once they're in their cubicle, they have walls coming this way as well.
Now, I was going to say, you've provided me with some photographs I'm going to bring up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which will maybe help, because you're going to actually see with these photos the actors.
Yeah. So
I'll let you describe each one as we move through them.
Yeah, sounds good. There's Shane, who happens to be a student here as well, but he just happens to also have an incredible resume of Broadway and various different other places he's worked professionally in the theater. But he's an electrical engineer major, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So, hey, we do everything here at Middlesex. Anyway, that's Lizzie, who is our stage manager. And what we're seeing right now is the actors are in their individual cubicles and being broadcast on the monitor, and then applying, this was just kind of a test green screen and a test background on the left, so that we can see what they look like in their green screen. But this is all the cubicles.
All right, let me move to the next one.
Yep. So we numbered each one of the cubicles at first, and also each student was still on book. So we had music stands, and we numbered all the cubicles at first so that Shane could know which camera was where. And also to make mention that you see the 4 behind me, but there are 4 in back of that, and they're facing the back wall. So there are 4 facing what you're seeing right now, and then 4 in the back. So we've got 8 cubicles in all.
So as I've just gone back to the shot of you, so there is a mirror image of them on the other side.
Right.
So 4 on each side. We're only seeing 4 right now, but there is a duplicate mirror image on the other side of the stage.
That's right.
For the other remaining 4 actors.
Exactly. And they've got a 50-inch monitor back there, and we've got a 50-inch monitor here. So they're able to see what they're doing, while they're doing it. So they know who they're walking towards or who they're near. And it could be that you see somebody who is in cubicle 2, right next to somebody in cubicle 7, but cubicle 2 is in the front and cubicle 7 is in the back. But it looks like they're right next to each other.
Right. And here's another
Yeah,
shot.
That's a good shot of the cubicles, because they are those return walls. And so they have their masks when they get in there. They can take their masks off. They have to stay in one place. They can't move around. They can move around just within their little spot. And then if they, I have in the theater itself, where I'm sitting right now, I've measured out 6 feet apart seats in the theater that you can probably see.
I'm going to hold on. I'll give you
Yeah.
full frame there. All right.
You might see here, I can turn, you might see little pieces of paper on the seats.
Yes.
And those are each actor's name. And so they are only allowed to sit in that seat. And that's if we're giving notes or things like that, or if they need a break from the cubicle. They can't sit in any other seat. It has to, and they have to have their mask on, and they have to be in that particular seat. And the other thing we've done is that every single stall in the bathrooms in this whole space have been assigned to a specific actor. So they can only use the same bathroom stall every time.
Wow. Yeah. No, you've obviously thought through all the particular protocols that need to be in place to make it safe.
And it was, I'll tell you, Steve, it was really interesting because the first day that we came in, because we had been trying to practice this on Zoom, and the first day that we came in, and we did this because we had planned it out for a while, and the first day we came in and we did sort of a read through, or just kind of in the cubicles and stuff, and I said to everybody, I said, how do you feel? And they said, I feel great. This felt like the best read through we've had. This feels so great. I said, I know. And I said, I think there's something about the energy of us being together. It doesn't matter that we are, this far apart from each other, or we have masks on. There's just something about us being in a theater in the same room that is so like, I get chills just thinking about it. And we said, okay, we're not going back to Zoom. And I said, all right, if we're not going back to Zoom, we have to make sure that we do not ease up on the safety here, because it might be very easy to do and get too comfortable.
Well, I could see
and
how
they've been great.
It could automatically give a lot of enthusiasm, even though you're not as close as you used to be. You're protected, but you're in the same theater as opposed to your bedroom or your living room or your kitchen.
I'm a major hugger, so this has been this has been torture for me. So what I did was I went out to the store, and those candy kisses, they also have hugs.
Oh yeah.
So I brought in a bag of those chocolate hugs, and I put them on each of the stands, and I said, okay, I can't hug you, but at least I can give you a hug this way.
It's a hug surrogate.
That's right. It made me feel so much better.
I can understand it, especially if you're a hugger. Now, just to remind people, again, there is no audience. The audience is out of this. Right. The audience comes through virtually. This is all for the actors and your production staff, is what's happening inside the theater.
That's right.
Also, you had mentioned to me that these productions are free.
Yes.
So there's no barrier to being able to, anyone from the school or anyone of any economic means has a way to be able to see some innovative live theater during this period. I wanted to put up and I'm going to leave it up for a little while, Karen, is your website for information about the shows. Now, it's cut off a little bit here, but again, it's www.middlesex.mass.edu/performing arts. So you want to go there, and the reminder for this wonderful program is going to be from the 25th to the 27th at 7 p.m. every night. We will also put your poster up as a post on our
we also have a Facebook
tomorrow.
Page too, so that I think is one of the fun.
We'll make sure that we co-post so that we find out about it. But I think this is it's wonderful stuff that you're doing, and obviously it's in this case because you're a college. It's first for the students, and for your team, and then it's for anyone else. That's the beauty of it, that it can go a lot deeper geographically because of the way you're producing this. And so anyone that, if you find this of interest, you should share the posts on Facebook, share the URL that we have up on the screen, and tell people about it, whether they live in Oshkosh or San Diego or Braintree.
That's right.
Any of them will work. Or our little town of Jaffrey and the Monadnock region that will get people to see, the creativity that you guys are working with right now during a tough time.
And I do have to say one last thing too. I do want to say that I certainly couldn't do this without my team of Shane and Peter. They're just incredible, and without the support of the college, who's been unbelievable as well. But the students have worked so hard, and they are magical. They are just, we are having a great time. So just, if nothing else, come for them.
No question. There's a lot of work and effort to figure this out. And at the minimum, but you're going to be entertained. No question about that. I think the creativity I can see how the green screen, because that's the beauty of green screen. You can do anything, and you can manipulate images all over the place. So I think people are going to be into it for not only a visual delight, as well as performance and great theater. Thank you, Karen Oster, so much.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
For being here, and thank you to my wife, Lisa, for helping set this up. But this is showing this type of innovation in theater right now to let people know what possibly can be done and what is being done. I think you can't share this type of stuff enough, because, as you said, there's a lot to just close the door and they say, well, when it's over, we'll get back.
Yeah.
And but there are some possible alternatives when you've got good creative minds thinking about it.
And there's some pretty inspiring people out there that are doing some very cool things right now. So we're Nobody can keep us down.
No, not theater people.
Mm-mm.
Well, thank you so much, Karen. Great luck with the shows. We will help get some eyes on your productions, including our own, and we hope to see you soon.
Great. Thank you so much, Steve. Thanks, everyone.
All right. Bye-bye, Karen.
Take care.
Well, that's for me, that is extremely inspiring, and I hope it is for everyone else. And whether you're whether you're involved in theater or you are a devotee of theater, you manage theater, this is a wonderful program that Karen and her team at Middlesex Community College are putting together. And so, again, we'll post information about these productions coming up in just a week. And they're all done live, so that they're not doing one on tape and then repeating it. They're doing a live show each time they have one of these. And it's, the 25th through the 27th of September, 7 p.m. every night. So be on the lookout for that from Middlesex and for the show, which is She Kills Monsters is the name of the play, the virtual version by Key Nguyen, Quinguyen is the playwright. Quinguyen, if you want to do some Wikipediaing about the playwright. Now, it is Thursday, and I am going to bring in Miss Kim Graham. 3, 2, 1. Hello, Kim.
Hi.
Well, hi. How are you?
I'm well. I just had to, being in the background, I've got 4 or 5 screens open. So everyone started dinging me at once about different things. So I had to close everything down, but I am focused.
Okay, great. Well, that was an interesting, what Karen is doing at Middlesex is this is great stuff in terms of people involved with theater in any way, shape, or form. It's so I only wish them the best, and it hopefully will be inspirational for other theater companies, community theater, professional theater, to show how some groups are doing it.
Right. So, hopefully what she's doing can be an inspiration to another group, big or small, to figure out a way how to, keep moving.
Well, for starters, it's an inspiration for me and for the Park Theater to see something. We'll see how things go with her production, and it gives ideas for us, and because we certainly, as time rolls on and things get progressively safer, we can look at opportunities like this and more. Right. So all good stuff. But Kim, tell us, go monadnock.com. If you don't know it by now, Kim Graham is the founder and editor of this wonderful website and email blast that goes out every week about the best things going on in the Monadnock region. If you are not a member of her email blast, go to gomonadnock.com, sign up, and you will find the best of what's going on every week in the region. And now a lot of these things have moved from the inside and the virtual to the outside. Again, they're going to be moving somewhat back inside as it gets colder. But, I'll turn it over to you, Kim. Tell us what is going on.
No problem. Let me click my screen over, and I'll be quick. I know, because our time is running out. But so we always showcase 5 things. And the first thing that I want to showcase is something that I've been talking about, which is a flea market that happens every Saturday. It's a great time to get out and, pick and poke. There's new vendors every week. That's at the Peterborough Unitarian Universalist Church. in the mornings from 9 to 1. Then Toadstool is going to be live streaming a discussion on Saturday between two authors, Karen Osborne and Arcady Martine. And these are kind of sci-fi books. So if you're into that genre, that would be a good event for you to partake in. If you want to get some exercise with your furry friend, this weekend, the Monadnock Humane Society is holding their Walk for Animals with a bit of a twist. Usually they gather together in large groups, but this year, of course, they're encouraging you to still walk with your dog, but just, either in small groups or by yourself. So you can find more information at the Monadnock Humane Society. The last cruise-in is on Sunday in Peterborough. That's hosted by the Grand Monadnock Rotary Club. Every time they do this, there's a few different vehicles, different people participating. So you can bring your car to show, or you can just mosey on down between 9 and 12 on Sunday to check out all of the antique cars. That's in the parking lot behind Toadstool. And then the Peterborough Folk Music Society is having a live stream on Sunday with the musician Slade Cleaves, and he's been a performer with the Folk Music Society before. He's played at Bass Hall and has gotten rave reviews. So now it's your time to check him out for free. So that's what's happening. There's more information on our website and other events on the website as well. That's it. Oh, you're on mute.
Yeah, now here I am back again. Wonderful. The one event that sounds, I like the walk, the animal walk. Sounds like fun.
I know. It's something we should be doing every day, but this is it's an added bonus that it's a fundraiser for the Humane Society.
Well, one thing as we leave Go Monadnock, I just wanted to put up here. We've got some guests all planned through the beginning of October that Kim and I have been working on. And Kim, we've got on September 24th, the Meshuggah Hat Company. These are the two sisters, am I right? I believe.
Yes. Yep. The twin sisters that
twins,
did the hat.
identical twins, sisters, and they're supposed to be just wonderful, wonderful guests, wonderful people, and they will be on a week from today and talking about their creations, their company, and their lives. And then a week later, we have April Claggett. Kim, anything to say about April?
Yeah, April is an artist and she's a musician. She has her art at various places around Peterborough, and she plays various places around Peterborough. I think she might be performing with someone. So they will have a videoed performance, and then we'll chat with them often on between the video clips.
So she's a musician and an artist.
Yep, she is.
Wonderful. Wonderful. And the next, even though I've spelled October incorrectly on the third line, excuse me for that typo. On October 8th, we have James Steelman. And James is a film editor who went to Keene State, and I believe he also taught at Keene State. I might be off on that, but I think he also taught there too. He now lives in New York, but he is mainly his work is on documentary films, and he has made been involved with some award-winning documentary films, and I think it's going to be very interesting to chat with him, talking again about an editor, and he's a busy editor that is working during COVID, and sometimes there's a job which is basically in front of a computer once the production is done or the documentary footage is found. that he pulls it all together. So James has a local connection, and he is certainly part of the film community, and on a national basis. And but he has a local connection, so I think we'll all get a kick out of that. And that's October 8th with James Steelman. So with that, that's a show. And thank you everyone for being here. Thank you, Kim.
No problem.
And also a huge thanks to Karen Oster for being our guest today. And we'll, as I say, we'll post more information about her production of She Kills Monsters so that everyone has a chance to hopefully see it and see it live. How about that? At home, but you see it live. So with that, I will have a great weekend, Kim, and thanks for everything.
You too.
All righty. Okay. So with that in mind, let's just remind folks that if you would like to find out about sponsoring our program, if you have any questions for Kim or myself about potential guests, performers, writers, theater people, as we had today, who you think might make an interesting guest here on Monadnock tonight, please let us know. Or any thoughts you have about our program. Just email us at parktv@theparktheater.org, or you can call us at our office here at the theater, 532-9300, 532-9300. And also, as we finish every show, we like to remind folks to please be safe, be healthy, be kind to all, and be hopeful, because we can do this. And as was demonstrated by today's show, we are doing this. People are doing this. So this is Steve Jackson. I thank you so much for being with us today on Monadnock Tonight. And we look forward to seeing you next week. Same time, same place. But tomorrow at noon, don't forget, Route 124, new show, Patrick LaCroix. Thanks, everyone. We will see you soon.